Alright, let's get it. So this video is going to be inspired by a post that I saw on Instagram a week back by Real Bible History 144. He did a video, or he made a post regarding multiple wives and concubines. And of course, a lot of these women and a lot of some of these dudes, they were pissed off. They were in their feelings about it. And for those of you who don't know, yes, it is 100% lawful for a man to deal with more than one woman, according to the Bible. I'm going to say it again. It is 100% lawful for a man to deal with more than one woman. Now, in this modern day age, is it going to be the best option for a man to do? Absolutely not. A lot of these women are hopping from penis to penis, hopping to all these sucking fuck restaurants, getting a mouthful, and they're going to get so much of a mouthful to the point where these bitches are going to look like fucking necromorphs off of Dead Space. All those damn blisters and all these damn bumps they're gonna get. And plus, a lot of you brothers are not in a position, financially to where you can afford more than one woman. You can deal with more than one woman. A lot of you brothers are, you're in the process of figuring yourself out. A lot of you brothers don't know, what you want to do with your life, or have a career set out for yourself. And me personally, I wouldn't advise. I wouldn't advise any of you to even deal with one. But like again, at the rate women are going, acting like fucking hoes, copping a whole bunch of diseases, these chicks are gonna look like necromorphs off of Dead Space 2. Let me show you what a fucking necromorph looks like. Look at that. Nasty ass creatures, I'll tell you that for sure. Look at that. Looking grimy as a motherfucker. Whew. Totally disgusting. That's gonna be your average. That's gonna be your modern day woman. 5 years from now, at the rate she's sucking and fucking, they're gonna look like this. Possibly in the near future. Real creepy, nasty. Oof. Like literal abominations. Well, let me stop. Let me go back to this post. Let me go back to this screenshot that I had. I'm gonna read it to you because this one particular comment struck my eye. It says right here, and I disagree wholeheartedly without the use of the deacon scripture. She's referencing Titus, the first chapter, verse 7 and 9. And it says, I disagree wholeheartedly with the use of the deacon scripture. It's interesting that when the Bible presents a man with multiple wives as the main focus, it is never positive. Someone always ends up hurt. The Most High never presented Adam with two women, but one. The first violation of this principle is when Lamech took on two wives previous to him. No one else did this. None did the Most High allow him and men to do it? Yeah, the Most High is definitely a power of culture and traditions. But to say that was his ultimate will for polygamy or polygyny, nah. And as of men today, y'all don't push for it because it was a practice of our forefathers or to honor the Most High. Y'all want it because of your own lusts. The average black man barely makes 40,000 to take care of a family comfortably, let alone another wife. Furthermore, it's selfish. We're in the land of our captivity where the law is one wife. Why would you leave another woman uncovered where her protection is not guaranteed like a wife who is legally under covenant? The Bible tells us to follow the law of the land and live peacefully while we are here. As much as we want to usher in the Most High's kingdom on earth, only the Most High can do this. I'm not here to argue. If y'all do that, hey, have fun. I'm gonna highlight a couple of key points within this whole post. All right, it says right here, it's interesting. I'm gonna start right here. It says it's interesting that when the Bible presents a man with multiple wives as the main focus, it is never positive. First of all, that's a flat out fucking lie. There are plenty of accounts in the scriptures where the men of the Lord, they dealt with more than one wife, and the Most High, there was never no occurring theme of the Most High punishing man for dealing with more than one wife. And I'm gonna get an account of that. Plenty of accounts. Judges chapter 8, verse 30. And Gideon had 70 sons of his begotten body, of his body begotten, for he had many wives. So Gideon had 70 sons from all the wives that he had, all right? And the Most High, there's no account, there's no theme of punishment for Gideon, because Gideon, he was a righteous man. Let's get another account too. 1 Samuel chapter 1. I'm gonna start up top. It says, now there was a certain man of Ramathaim Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zuph, an Ephrathite. And he had 2 wives. The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had no children, but Hannah had no children. Well, Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Most High, Yahweh of hosts in Shiloh. And the 2 sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priests of the Most High, were there. So right here, there's another account of another righteous man of the Most High, Elkanah, having more than one wife, and there's no account of the Most High punishing Elkanah for having more than one woman. All right. Another account we can get is 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel 25 and 39. All right. This is the account of David. Of King David. And when David heard that Nabal was dead, he said, blessed be Yahweh, that has pleaded the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal, and has kept his servant from evil. For Yahweh has returned the wickedness of Nabal upon his own head. And David sent and communed with Abigail to take her to him to wife. And when the servants of David came, or when the servants of David were come to Abigail to Carmel, they spake unto her, saying, David sent us unto you to take you to him to wife. And she arose and bowed herself on her face to the earth and said, behold, let your handmaid be a servant to wash the feet of the servants of my Lord. And Abigail hasted and arose and rode upon an ass with 5 damsels of hers that went after her, and she went after the messengers of David and became his wife. And David also took Ahinoam of Jezreel, and they were both of him his wives. All right, but Saul had given Michal, his daughter, David's wife, to Phatia, the son of Laish, which was of Galim. So, right here in verse 43, David also took Ahinoam of Jezreel, and they were also both of them his wives. Plural wives, meaning more than one, and there's no account of the Most High punishing David for having more than one woman. And let's get another account of his, let's get another account too. 2 Samuel chapter 5, and verse 13. All right. And David took him more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem after he was come from Hebron, and there were yet sons and daughters born unto David. And these be the names of those that were born unto him in Jerusalem: Shemua and Shobab and Nathan and Solomon, Ibar also, and Elishua and Nepheg and Japhia and Elishama and Elida and Eliphalet. So this is another account of another righteous man of the Lord, David, taking on him wives and concubines, and the Most High clearly didn't punish him for doing such a thing. All right. So you're absolutely wrong on that, my love. It's Mrs. I can't read these fucking IG names, but let's break this comment down some more. All right. The Most High never presented Adam with 2 women, but 1. Right, but Adam, Adam had only 1 wife, and look at what happened to him. He played the SIM card, and followed Eve, who in turn was following the serpent, and here we are in sin. So I don't know what she had to prove by saying that. Let me go down some more. Let me figure out what else to say. Let me figure that out. Oh, right here. I'm gonna read this. Furthermore, it's selfish. We are in the land of our captivity, where the law is one wife. Why would you leave another woman uncovered, where her protection is not guaranteed like a wife who is legally under the covenant? The Bible tells us to follow the law of the land and live peacefully while we are here. I'm going to read this one again, because a lot of women, they're referencing Romans chapter 13, verse 1 and 2, and in 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 13 and 15. So we're going to get it right here. This is what they always talk about. These are, I believe, these are the two main scriptures. The two main scriptures, and plus Deuteronomy 17 and 17, where they like to justify that a man can only have more than, where they justify a man can only have one wife. All right. So Romans chapter 13, verse 1 and 2. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Whosoever therefore resists the power, resists the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive in themselves damnation. And we'll also get 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 13 and 15. Submit yourselves to every ordinance of man for the Lord's sake, whether it be to the king as supreme, or unto the governors as unto them that are sent by him, for the punishment of evildoers, and for the praise of them that do well. For so is the will of the Most High, that with well-doing you may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men. These are the two scriptures that women love to use to justify their claims of a man only having one wife. And let me provide some context to this stuff right here. Dealing with more than one woman in and of itself is not wrong. Now, if you want to involve the state's business and have the so-called white man in your marital affairs, have multiple marriage contracts for multiple women, then yeah, you'd be going off. All right, having multiple marriage contracts for multiple women, that's wrong and it's illegal. But dealing with more than one woman in and of itself is not wrong. It's just if you want to put Esau into your business and put Esau into your marital affairs and go under a contract, which I don't know why any man would want to do that, especially in these days, then you'd be going off. But in the context of these scriptures right here, it's pretty much laying down like don't be a rabble rouser, don't be a troublemaker, don't be. It's just essentially what these scriptures are saying is don't be a fucking degenerate. All right. Don't be a degenerate. Don't be a criminal. Just don't be an asshole. That's pretty much what it's saying. Now, in regards to David's transgression, clearly the Most High didn't punish him for having more than one woman. What David did, he committed adultery, which we'll get in, I believe it's 1 Samuel 11. No. 2 Samuel 11. I'm gonna start right here at verse 2. And it came to pass in an evening tide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And David sent and inquired after the woman, and one said, Is this not Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? And David sent messengers and took her, and she came in unto him, and he laid with her, for she was purified from her uncleanliness, and she returned unto her house. And the woman conceived and sent and told David and said, I am with child. All right, I'm gonna jump down over to verse 14. And it came to pass in the morning that David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it by the hand of Uriah. And he wrote in the letter, saying, Set ye Uriah in the forefront of the hottest battle, and retire ye from him, that ye may be smitten and die. And it came to pass, when Joab observed the city, that he assigned Uriah unto a place where he knew that valiant men were. And the men of the city went out and fought with Joab, and there fell some of the people of the servants of David, and Uriah the Hittite died also. So practically what it is, David has sex with Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah, And when they found out that she got pregnant, David pretty much had Uriah sent off to war and died. That way, David could have pretty much have Bathsheba all for herself, which was very wicked. David committed adultery, and the punishment for David was explained in the next chapter. I'm gonna hop down to verse 7. And Nathan said to David, "You are the man. Thus says Yahweh, power of Israel. I anointed you king over Israel, and I delivered you out of the hand of Saul, and I gave you your master's house and your master's wives into your bosom, and gave you the house of Israel and of Judah. And if that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto you such and such things." I'm going to read this one more time. "And if that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto you such and such things." Meaning what? Like, bro, like, the Most High was laying out to David, like, bro, like, you didn't have to fuck Bathsheba, all right? If you would have prayed and told me you wanted more wives and concubines, I would have given you more wives and concubines. So the Most High had no problem with David having more than one wife, dealing with more than one woman. It was just the fact that he slept with another woman outside of his married circle. All right? That was the problem. Verse 11, "Thus says Yahweh, behold, I will raise up evil against you out of your own house, and I will take your wives before your eyes and give them unto your neighbor, and he shall lie with your wives in the sight of the sun." So pretty much David, he got judged by the Most High. There was a lot of contention in his house during that time, but the point being was that David didn't go off for having more than one wife. All right, he committed adultery, and that's just the bottom line. Now, in regards to Deuteronomy 17 and 17, because this is another verse that women love to use. "Neither shall ye multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away, neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold." All right? I'm going to read this one more time. "Neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away." Meaning what? Like, you don't want to multiply, you don't want to have too much of something if it's going to steer your focus away from the Most High. You don't want to have, anything too much, in abundance to the point where it's going to take you away from, your spiritual duty. All right, and that's the transgression that Solomon committed. All right, this is where nuance comes into play. So let's get 1 Kings 11, chapter 3. No, 1 Kings 11, chapter 11, verse 3. I'm going to start at verse 1. "But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonites, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which Yahweh said unto the children of Israel, Ye shall not go in unto them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart." This is Solomon's transgression right here. All right. Verse 5. "For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of Yahweh, and went not fully after Yahweh, as did David his father. Then did Solomon build a high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. And likewise did he for all of his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrifice unto their gods." All right. "And the Lord was angry with Solomon, because his heart was turned from the Most High, Yahweh, the power of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice, and had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not that which Yahweh commanded." So Solomon was a spiritual adulterer. He was following after other gods, following after the gods of the nations, which the Most High, which the Most High said not to go into. All right, "You shall love the Most High with all your heart. You shall not worship any false idols." All right, and Solomon was in transgression of that, and The Most High brought judgment the Most High brought judgment on Solomon accordingly. All right, but that's where Deuteronomy 17:17 comes into play. But to make it a long story short, don't listen to any of these bitches when it comes to the topic of multiple wives and concubines, because they're always gonna get in their fucking feelings. 9 times out of 10, they will. So I hope you guys were edified by this. All right, peace.